I'm Carol Shapiro with TheraGarden for greeningdetroit.com. And there's a lot going on here today, so I'm just going to start by introducing myself and what I do, and then we're going to get out and check out all the vendors that are here that work with greeningdetroit.com and have a green initiative. And I'm just really excited to see who's here because this is what I love. This is what I do. Okay, I'm here with Door to Door Organics. I'm so excited to meet you because I've seen your trucks around town. I'm Carol Shapiro with TheraGarden. So tell me, what are you doing? Are you delivering fresh produce?
Absolutely. What we do is we deliver fresh organic fruits, vegetables, and other natural grocery items like meats, chicken, fish, bread, cheese. Our dairy, we're going to start doing liquid milk very soon. We deliver every week of the year, and we deliver directly to your door.
Wow. And is your produce locally grown?
As much as possible. We do deliver every week of the year. As soon as the local produce is available, we're definitely putting it in boxes. We're right around the corner. I think next week we're going to start our local farm box where everything in the box is coming from a local farm. But we also have that diversity that you can also get your citrus, your bananas, your mangoes whenever you'd like.
Okay, that sounds really good. And do you cover a certain area or are you strictly one county?
We're throughout the Metro Detroit area in the greater Lansing, Flint, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Toledo areas. So we have a pretty wide delivery.
I've never seen anybody doing this before, and I was so excited to see your trucks. How long have you been in business?
We started out in Fenton in 2007 and then went down to Livonia 2009. I've been with the company since April of 2010, and since that time we've grown 400%. So we're doing well, and we're just trying to connect people with good food, giving them access to good food.
Well, good for you. I'm going to be having a gardening show. I'm here with Musark Television today, and I think Detroit would be very interested in what you're doing because I know there is limited access to fresh vegetables and fruits for some of our residents. So do you want to say something about that?
Well, one of the biggest initiatives that I'm going to be doing very soon is really trying to get in, urban farming is something that's become a really big hot topic in both Michigan and Chicago areas, and Detroit and Chicago areas. I really want to make sure that Door to Door Organics becomes a part of that. So whether it be organic farming or conventional farming, we really need to connect a lot of these food deserts with better food. If it's not organic, that's okay. We just need them to eat better food instead of all this processed food. If they can get fresh fruits and vegetables to them, eventually maybe they can become our customers because we really are committed to organic. But the most important thing is making sure that everybody gets access to better food, not just the people who can, who go online and are our customers, but we really want to make it sure that it's throughout the Metro Detroit area. I'm from Southwest Detroit myself. I know about some of the areas they don't have the access that some of our suburbs do to good food, and so it's something that I know that our customers are very committed to, and I'm proud to be work for a company that is really looking out for the health and wellness of all the community, whether they be our customers or not.
Okay, that sounds really good. And how can people get a hold of you if they want to order food, fresh produce from Door to Door?
Well, our service is completely online. So if you wanted to go to doortodoororganics.com, it's a very easy, functional, easy-to-use website. I think it's pretty intuitive. If you have any questions, we have a customer service line that you can call at any time. Again, the website's doortodoororganics.com, and phone number is area code 810-714-1475.
It's really nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to seeing you around Detroit again soon. Hi, Carlos. I'm so pleased to be here at your event for greeningdetroit.com. It's so awesome. I've seen so many people that I've seen Door to Door Organics on the road. They told me how they're doing such a great business with you and Greening Detroit. And I want to give you an opportunity to address the group and tell them what you're doing with all these vendors here and how you're tying all these people with a green initiative together in the city of Detroit. It's really impressive.
Thank you, Carol. Well, first off, we represent the whole Detroit metro region. The cities, the counties, the state, the federal agencies are working with us. We're working as an outreach for them. And basically what that means is that information comes to us and we're able to distribute that information out to the community. So with that, information is very powerful, of course, and as that information comes in, we kind of sort it out, we dish it out. We use different media partners to get that distribution out as well, and so we work with different vendors of all sorts of green, and we're going to talk to you later because we're just about to go ahead and jam and have a good time, and this is a big celebration for our colleagues and our friends and families.
Okay, we're going to turn it over to the band. With Giri. Let's see, it's Wozniak.
Very good.
Okay, and he's with Recovery Park. It's his company, and his card says Renewal, Growth, Recovery. I'm so interested in what Giri does because it's a passion of mine, horticultural therapy. So I'm going to turn it over to Giri. And Giri, it's such a pleasure to meet you today. Tell us about what you do and how you interact with the greeningofdetroit.com.
So Recovery Park is a large-scale commercial agriculture food system development project that's happening in the city of Detroit. And it started to create jobs for people that have barriers to employment. People coming out of prison, people with mental health issues, people that can't read and write on an 8th grade level, people with substance abuse problems, and utilizing the resources that the city has. So large open spaces, abandoned buildings, infrastructure, access to water, and doing the farming year-round and connecting a large number of growing systems into food production. And the goal is to create a local and live food economy. So local means that whatever we grow or harvest is delivered in a 60-mile radius around where it's harvested, and live means that it's delivered to your grocer's shelf within 48 hours.
I love it. I'm so happy to hear this because I don't think anybody knows about the carbon footprint and how long it takes our vegetables to reach our table. I don't think people know that they're losing 1/3 of the vitamin C minimum.
Absolutely.
And that by the time that they get their food, which has to travel sometimes across country on a truck and then sit in the grocery store, it is almost virtually vitamin deficient. Or I shouldn't say that, but it definitely is not what I don't think we're meant to eat.
Well, in Michigan, the number 2 economy in Michigan is agriculture. So we have about $82 billion a year in product that we grow. 98% of it's exported to another state for processing. So I'll use strawberries as an example. We're the number 2 grower of strawberries in the country. We ship 100% of our strawberries to processing plants in St. Louis, and they come back to us as Smucker's jelly on our grocer's shelves, that's criminal.
I'm being educated here because that is criminal. I didn't know that. That's really good information. I think that we need to teach our children and we need to raise our families with this information because I'm an old dog wanting to learn new tricks. That's hard. We need to raise our children to understand where their food comes from and why isn't everybody growing their own food when the opportunity is available or getting it locally?
Well,
do you agree, Giri?
Getting it locally for sure. Not everybody wants to grow their own food, but that doesn't mean that we can't grow that for them and give them access to that. But I think that it's really important that we start to connect people back to the land so that they really understand that there's a therapeutic value for getting out in your garden and maybe just in your front yard or even having a couple pots of tomatoes or something on your patio. Coming home at night all tensed up, and instead of picking up a drink picking up a little shovel and a rake and going pull some weeds and hoeing a little bit. There's something very relaxing and very calming about that. And if you have a really tense lifestyle, if you're like an alpha dog salesperson or something, getting back in touch with that is really important. The other thing for the clients that we deal with is it teaches very basic life skills. So geography, earth science, basic math. It also teaches people how to get along in a small group of people, out in a field or a greenhouse or something. And I think those are really important things that we've lost as a society.
And also what I found is tending something and nurturing it from seed to table gives people something to wake up for. I've dealt with a lot of clients in nursing homes, and just to see a reason. Sometimes people need to get up and get out there, and the advantages are so numerous. They're just from simple ambulation to learning how to be an urban farmer.
Part of it is not just the growing and it's not just the consumption. So what do we do with the waste product? How do we take the organic material and how do we convert it back into compost to enrich the soil, or convert it into energy with biodigestion systems, so that we can do other cool things like indoor fish growing, which is one of our big projects. We're putting in a 5 million pound a year tilapia farm in a former manufacturing plant. And the tilapia grows in a very controlled environment, so there's no growth hormones, there's no genetic modification, no pesticides, fertilizers, anything, and we can deliver a live product to your grocer that can fillet it on the spot, and you can serve it that night.
It's really exciting. I'm so happy that I met you today, and I want to know, when can I come and check all this out for myself? Because
anytime. I'd love to have you.
Okay, it's been such a message. I also wanted to mention, today I'm here with Musark Television, and the future of, I think, commercials is to sell your product, but to also have a message, to take the opportunity, the venue, to speak about what's important to you. And I see that this is something that you're doing. And I was just wondering what you thought about that. And I did want you to know today that this is a good venue for you to get your message out to the city of Detroit and beyond.
So I did have an opportunity to talk to the principal of Musark, and what he wants to do is really cutting edge in terms of that internet platform for how people get their message across. So I'm pretty excited, and I want to continue the conversation past today. Greening Detroit and John Carlos has really helped us in a very big way with our project. He's connected us to a lot of the movers and shakers in the Tri-County area. He's connected us to a lot of cutting-edge technology companies to help us understand energy and water and waste disposal. He's connected us with people like you. Looking at your therapeutic products and how we can start working with our clients in a different way. So it's a very important relationship that John and I have.
I'm so glad to hear that, and thank you for coming tonight. It's been such a pleasure to meet you and hear about what you're doing in the city.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, Giri. I'm here with Musark Television to introduce my friend Jim Newman from Newman Consulting, and I'm really excited for Jim to tell you what he's up to. He's with the U.S. Green Building Council and Newman Consulting firm. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Jim and tell us how you work with Carlos and what greeningdetroit.com has helped you to achieve in getting your message out.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Carol. Actually, we've been with Carlos for since he started greeningdetroit.com, as a matter of fact, which is now well over 2 years ago, probably closer to 3. And I knew Carlos before he actually started greeningdetroit.com, so we were kind of a natural to get started with him originally as one of the first organizations on greeningdetroit.com. And since that time, we've actually worked with him to help him get a number of other organizations, and we've expanded what we do there, because what we do is greening Detroit and greening other cities, and greening other areas around the country and around the world, because we actually do LEED certification of buildings, LEED standing for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and it's third-party certification through the U.S. Green Building Council that buildings truly are green rather than somebody just saying they're green. This is proof that they really are. And the other thing we do is we do what's called energy audits to help building owners conserve energy and save money in their existing buildings. And buildings, as Carlos has learned, actually use more natural resources and more energy than any other sector, even more than transportation. So when people talk about taking so many cars off the road, that's good. Not so good for Detroit maybe, but good for greenhouse gas emissions. But we actually help existing buildings conserve energy, and like I said, they use a lot more energy than the transportation industry. So greeningdetroit.com has been a very good venue for us to get our message out to people.
It's so important that people build with this in mind today. So I'm so glad that you're here, because there's so many people who are saying that they're green and there's no regulation. So I can't tell you how many of my neighbors say that they're spraying their lawn with a green company, only to find out that they're not treating their lawn organically and that these chemicals are ending up in our water table. But I'm so pleased to see you again, because I saw you at John Carlos's party last year, and he speaks so highly of you, and it's just such a pleasure to hear about what you're doing for our city and beyond. Is there anything else that you want to say today, Jim?
Thank you. Actually, we do a lot of traveling around the world, actually doing seminars on these same subjects, and in fact, I'm still a little bit jet lagged from just coming back from Brazil, where they've asked me to come back in September.
That's really important, because it, I think, also will put our city on the map for people who, you know, we have our people who have grown up here and they miss what Detroit used to be, but we have young people who have, it's a clean palette for them. They see Detroit as nothing but a way to aspire and have a green initiative, and really it's nothing but a place to build and develop and do it right the green way. And so we're a blank slate here in Detroit, and I'm so glad that you're based here, and it's really a pleasure to see you today.
Thank you.
I'm here with Julie Skeen, and she works for the county, and I think she has a real good message that we need to pass on to Musark and all of our people here in Detroit. So how are you?
I am doing great, thank you, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad that John offers this little get-together every year for all of his clients. It's a wonderful thing. I've made a lot of good networking tonight.
And exactly what do you do with John Carlos? And I'm so pleased to see you here at his party, and I want to hear exactly about what your initiative is with all this green movement that we have here in our fair city.
Well, I work for Elbrooks Patterson, and we have an initiative called the Oak Green Initiative at the county. And we have close ties with John because he very politely advertises our green events on his website. And we also advertise his company, Greening Detroit, on our website. We hold a lot of green events. In the past, we've done some green summits, usually in May, but we've recently discovered that there are a lot of other green events occurring at the same time and covering the same topics. And so we felt, we were kind of reinventing the wheel. So we've changed our focus. Now we have a special project going where we are actually sending a team out into the communities, and different communities can request our services to come out and do a presentation on their behalf. We have contacts with the local subdivision associations and senior centers, and also community libraries, that type of thing. And we've just started doing this, but it's starting to pick up. We've had some good feedback so far. But we work with also Consumers Energy, DTE, and other green-related organizations, including our Community and Home Improvement division at the county. And we will come out and just explain, tips for helping you save money, just greening your building or greening your practices, that type of thing. And so Elbrooks Patterson feels very strongly about this whole initiative, to the point where we actually have a contest going. It's called the Oak Green Challenge, And it is, at this point, just for residents of Oakland County, obviously. And what you do is you can go online. I believe you can find it at our general website, which is just www.oakgov.com/oakgreen, I think is one way to get there. But you go online, you register, and you input your monthly utility bill information as you make changes to your home. It can be changing light bulbs, changing your windows, adding insulation, putting on caulking, whatever it is you do, and you follow your utility bills for that year. At the end of that year, the person who has found that they've saved the most money will actually win the opportunity to have their utility bills paid for an entire year up to a $1,500 value. And Brooks is really promoting this. So
that is very cool. I'm so glad to hear that our county is supporting us in our green initiatives here in Detroit. And I'm so pleased to meet you and hear about your enthusiasm. And I'm so proud to hear how greeningdetroit.com and Musark Television has helped you to get your message out to our city, because it's all about advertising with a message, and we can make a difference. We can make a difference, and apparently our county is making a difference for us today. Thank you. Giri, I just met Shantae from Ice Cream Place. Her ice cream is to die for, and she's local Michigan. She distributes out of Ferndale, but I'm going to turn the mic over to her, and hopefully she'll tell about her relationship with greeningdetroit.com and how another really successful Detroit-based company is making it and getting their message out. Shantae, it's so good to see you here at Juan Carlos's party.
Thank you. Well, I met John Carlos at another green event in Detroit, and he tasted the ice cream and thought it would be a good fit for this for his party. So it's locally made, like you said. It's back to the basics: milk, cream, and sugar, like you did like your grandmother used to make. I mean, my grandmother didn't have polysorbate 80 in the freezer or in the cupboard, so it's none in my ice cream. So we just do milk, cream, sugar, and then whatever fruit. Or if it's chocolate, then we add cocoa. So that's pretty much it. To the basics.
Good for you. It's just what I want to hear. I agree 100%, and I can't wait to take some home to my children. And we're sold, and best of luck to you here in our fierce city of Detroit.
Well, we distribute to different grocery stores. So we're at the Papa Joe's markets, several food lands, the holiday markets, and all 3 Westport markets. So you can find it at any of those fine establishments.
Okay, and do you have a website or a telephone number that you'd like to share with all of John Carlos's clients and friends today?
Sure. The phone number where I can be reached at is area code 313-204-0990. And my website is www.icecreamplace.net.
Shantae, you're my ice cream connection in Detroit forever.
All right. Thank you.
Giri, I'm here with Josh Rubin. He's from Maye Container. It's like the coolest company. He took me on a tour of it. He's going to tell you about it because I don't know, but it's use and reuse, and his containers will start with pickles or something else, and then end up through a cycle of 5 or 6 uses. And I'm going to turn it over to him. He put in a rain barrel at my house, and I love it. It's a fabulous way to divert water and help the environment. And I'm so glad to see you. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Over here at Greening Detroit's party. Yeah, we don't make actually anything other than the rain barrel. We sell industrial packaging, and we deal with the life cycle and the reuse of it. So you're exactly right.
Can you tell people about what Maye Container is doing in our city?
Yeah, well, I do everything from install rain barrels for schools and to hold, like this morning we had a rain barrel workshop in St. Clair Shores. We do stuff like that on the weekends, and just to get involved in the community, help out with like people like with community gardens and stuff. But what we really do on a day-to-day is more industrial oriented.
I really like the way that your composters and your rain barrels are so easy to put together. And I've put them together as the business owner of Thera Gardens. I have put together rain barrels for my clients and integrated them into the landscape. And they're really a great way to divert water and a way to keep, I'm going to let you explain this, but when you catch your water, when you do rainwater retention, you're keeping the water out of our sewer drains.
The sign here talks about a couple of the simple things, but conserve water is the first thing. Basically, you are keeping it out of your drains, out of the sewer, out of the system. It's water, I like to say, on the side that you didn't pay for. The city charges you for water in and out now, so they keep really close eye on your water usage. So this is water that isn't tracked, isn't counted, so it's truly free. And it's a truly free resource that's also better for your plants. It's softer, it's not treated with chemicals, your plants thrive better. A lot of other things like irrigation-wise and building gardens, you can use rain barrels strategically to make your garden easier to use. More spigots are available, more water sources. The composter, though, is one of my favorite things to put together, because you know that on a daily basis people will save their scraps and reduce their waste, reduce their carbon footprint. Yeah. So we actually have, this is our rain barrel behind me right here, but we also have a compost tumbler over there that John, Carlos, and Greening Detroit, they use them as well as Thera Gardens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really, people compliment me all the time on the rain barrel in front of my house, and I live in Franklin and the water is hard. So we have a lot of iron in our water, and my plants have responded really well. As you know, I'm an urban farmer, and I use only the rain barrels to water my plants now, and I think they've really responded well, and I feel really good about using your products. And your energy, when you came out and then blogged about what you did, helped me set up a rain barrel, it really inspired me. I'm glad you're here and helping people to get this message.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why we're out there, and that's why we got these rain barrels and these other products out there to help people in their home and garden like yourself.
How can people, if people want to buy a rain barrel or a composter, Josh, how should they reach you? Do you want to leave your telephone number and your email?
You can find all of our contact info on Maye Container, MAXIcontainer.com, and you can also call 1-800-727-MAXI-6294. That's 1-800-727-MAXI. So.
And Josh, isn't this a third-generation company for your family, or am I mistaken?
Maye Container is third generation, but the Rubin family has been around fourth generation. Barrel, we call ourselves barrel men or whatever. So my great-grandpa used to recondition wooden barrels during Prohibition era. So we've come a long way since the wooden barrel.
That's really cool. I really like to see that investment in our city, and I think you're going to do a lot of serious business in our city in the years to come.
We hope so. I hope so. Gardens is there with us.
You just keep on using me. Till you use me. Until you use me up. Until you use me up. Until you use me up.
I'm here with Sally Bollinger. This is Carlos's significant other, and I want to tell you that this party wouldn't happen without this girl. Sally, I love you. You're the best. What do you want to say?
What do you want me to talk about?
I want to talk about your contribution to greeningdetroit.com, because I happen to know that you're the one who does a lot of the work there, putting all these different vendors on the map, designing websites, and we appreciate everything you do. You're very talented, Sally.
Well, Carlos does the outside work most of the time, and I am the inside person. So emails, phone calls, talking to vendors, setting up appointments, doing their websites, setting up their pages, that kind of thing, coordinating events, that kind of thing.
And she does all this in her spare time when she's not looking after children or this fabulous garden. So, Sally, I thank you so much for your hospitality, and I'm so proud to be affiliated with a company like greeningdetroit.com and you and Carlos.
Thank you. We enjoy having you as a client and all of our other clients here. You bring so much pleasure to people and sustainability and help people live healthier lives that we just love all of our clients.
It's such a great way to live, and I hope that we can get the message out here through MuseArc to Detroit, to further our businesses here in Detroit, and to help people become employed, and to get the message out that you can sell your product and make a difference in our world today. We all really need to get on board. And we have our future generations to think about too, Sally, right?
Exactly.
I know, you do a lot for those kiddies.
They're good kids. They are our future, so.
Yeah. We have to make a future for them, right, Sally?
Exactly.
We can't just think about ourselves anymore.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And we have to further our city, our fair city of Detroit. And I give kudos to greeningdetroit.com for all of its efforts and this fabulous party that you were so instrumental in putting together.
Thank you so much. We enjoy having people here and having parties in our yard, and we love it. So.